Hello, 380, 500. Hope all is going well. Couple things before I get going. One, there is a major storm going on outside of my uh, office window here. So if you see me look that way, it's probably because I'm in disbelief of the storm. Two, also, just in case, I'm going to give this disclaimer. The last video I filmed, they're probably still laughing. I have two middle schoolers that have been running around the house. Uh, by and large, they've been pretty good, but every once in a while I hear them run up and down the stairs. If you see me look this way, it's a natural reaction. So I guess part of the fun of a pandemic online type class, but I'm really going to try to get this done in one take. So I thought I'd better say those two things. First off, one, thanks for getting through the first week pretty well. Um, Google, Google Arts and Culture. Everything was fantastic. It's been posted. I do want to issue, I guess, semi-apology or just kind of say, people have still been kind of coming in and out of the class, so I haven't posted the grades yet. They're all fine. That's been posted on there. It was just an introductory type exercise. Most weeks I kind of go where you do a week. I do my best to get the grading done on Monday or Tuesday and post it, unless it's a bigger assignment. So everything should be up either Monday or Tuesday as related to that. Also, it was just the first week's always a little crazy, I'm sure, as you know, so I'm a little behind on some of that. But everything I've read so far is great. I'm going to try my best to make sure everything is up on Monday, but at the latest, it should be Tuesday. I'm making that a personal goal. This week, we're going to kind of get, I guess this is where the rubber meets the road, and it's still some things that we're going to build up to some things. But I just went ahead and opened up the Brightspace. Few things that I just want you to know. We're going to look at websites today, and I'm going to do a short run through on a PowerPoint, but I'm probably going to skip a few things and such. There's a little bit on Plan Book on there. I'm going to save that for later, so you might see me skip a thing or two. Also, 21st Century Skills, that's on the discussion board. I may just do a quick just kind of quick deep dive. That doesn't make sense. A quick overview of 21st Century Skills. And also just talk about the benefits of a website. You will be this week creating you'll be creating a website either on Weebly, Wix, or Google, or actually I should put it on there. WordPress, if you're familiar with WordPress, you're welcome to use WordPress. I'm not really worried about the application that you use. I'm just worried about the end result. Also, you'll do a review on the website feature. And you'll do a discussion board. So those are three things this week: website, discussion, blog. I will tell you this. This is probably most people's least, I don't know why I start with this, but it's usually the one that makes people the angriest or the one that they get the most frustrated with. So hopefully, if you have any questions, feel free to email and vent. You can also let it happen on the blog, but do not lose your cool. If you need help, contact anytime. I'm on campus. I'm always on campus Monday through Thursday, but most of the time I'm there on Friday too, especially in the mornings. But just email me. We'll set up a time if we need to go over this. I'll try to show you how I do mine. And some of it's intuitive, and I think you'll find with this class a lot of it is intuitive. Also, this is a good example of how we do the tech. It's a quick semester in all honesty. So what we do, I like to do just not a deep dive, just like a go in, check the tech out, and if you want to explore it further, you're welcome to do it. If not, no big deal. Just to kind of give you an introduction to it. Websites also, I'm going to add this. I almost pulled it this semester, and I didn't because I still think they have a place. I kind of went back and forth. Learning management systems, LMSs is what you'll hear them called a lot of times, like Sakai's one, Brightspace is one. Canvas, which Jefferson County is using, Google Classroom, that's a LMS. Berkeley County, Schoology, those are all LMSs. They're replacing a lot of websites in the classroom. But let me say this before I even get into the PowerPoint itself. Just remember, if you go to another county, if you get hired in a county, like for example, Berkeley County, you're using Schoology. You get hired somewhere else. That's not going to follow you, whatever you've loaded up on there and all. I always kept a website. Some of it was just for perseverance. That doesn't even make sense. Just for storage. How's that? Self-storage. So I always have my stuff in order and I could just post it on my site. And yes, it is a little bit of a pain to build, but I took a year or two and just kind of tried to get everything up there on there right. So with that being said, let me just go ahead and talk about this a little bit. There will be a YouTube video on, this video that I'm talking about right here. The PowerPoint's going to be up without me talking. If you prefer to do that, awesome. And then I'll talk about the assignment. And also, if you need anything, Wix, Weebly, Google, I'll put a link up for WordPress too, if I think about it after this. But there's materials there when you click on there. So anything you need with those. Also, if the site, Weebly, I always feel like I'm updating, and that's the one I'm going to use today. These things change over time, and if the video isn't copacetic with what you need to do, tell me. I try to update them as often as possible, but sometimes something changes in the midstream, and I actually updated this in the spring. I'm going to go back and make sure the videos are up to date, but sometimes I do miss something if something's changed. Basically what I'm saying, if it's an old video, let me know with the tech. I try to catch it, but I'm not going to kid you. Sometimes I do miss things. All right, here we go. This will not be overly long. I try to keep these pretty straightforward, but I do think it's important. We're not even going to get into e-planning. I have that for another week now. But one thing about websites, why are you going to use them? There's a lot of advantages for both students and teachers to have this, and parents actually. For teachers, paperless classroom, accountability, you can post things that are there. Of course, your learning management systems do this too, but if a student isn't in class for the day, you can just post the assignment, or you can post the handouts up and they have access to it. It's not, I was absent and you never gave it to me type thing. It is there. It can help with differentiated instruction. You can, tier it. Heck, I've had students create websites, which is kind of cool. But you can do things where they can be tiered on the website and like handouts for different ones, or send it to them. Organization and management, easy to place. If you have it, you always know where to find your handouts. That's basically what I'm getting at, you and the students, especially once you get your website organized. I used to do an Apple TV school. And I used to work at an Apple TV school, and it was very easy for me to pull up my website and pull up the handouts that I was going and PowerPoints, and they were right there. I didn't have to dig for them. I didn't have to find a file. I knew I could just go to my website and it was there. Also, I use this sometimes. Again, the learning management systems replace this a little bit. But you can post your class newsletters, your blogs, your announcements on your website. I did both a little bit towards the end, where I would still put whatever I put up on my website, I would just post also on my learning management system, a cut and paste. But there's a lot of advantages for a teacher. For students, you can do collaborative learning. You can use websites in creative ways. You can have students find things, especially at the introduction of a semester. I mentioned this. I'm kind of doing this from the viewpoint of you creating the websites. I've had students, and I'll find an example. I still have them, and I will post it up this week, where I've had students use Weebly and Wix and actually made their own websites. And they had, you get into grammar. They had to research together, and they had to design certain pages together. So it's one thing. Also, you can put up chat things and communication boards on your websites, and students can work that way. Google Classroom is a good example of this. I mean, again, it's kind of a pseudo website, even though it is its own, learning management system. Gives you a home base, basically. It's where students can go when a teacher is out, or if students are absent. I mentioned that. And also, I think a website is good because it makes your class more 21st century. It's just something that looks modern, like you're invested. And also, I found that it made me stay up to date with what I was actually using and going over, because I would check my PowerPoints out and such. Plus, I think it gives you, what's the word? It's just an open classroom where if parents want to see what you're doing, you have it. It's, there's nothing's hidden in your classroom. You can tell parents, hey, this is what we went over, or this is the handout we did, or it was on the website. So very, open type form. Makes everything visible. I was trying to think of the word that I knew it'll hit me and I'll forget. There's a political word that they always use, and it's just not coming to me at the moment, which is going to upset me. But say la vie. It makes your classroom more open, so you can, show everyone what you're doing. There are some advantages for parents, whether it's communication. I just mentioned that, but it gives parents a location that they can check. Transparency. There it is. It makes your class transparent. I knew I had that somewhere. It's been a long first week. It allows parents to actually see what you're doing, which I found was always important because, sometimes parents don't like to check these things. And you're like, it's on the website. They're like, I didn't know you had a website. Well, here it is. And it's been up all the time. I told you on orientation night. And they'll be like, oh, that's fantastic. So transparency, involvement. It does make parents, I think, more on the ball. I did notice parents, as a parent, you check it. It does add a little level of comfort that if your students or your child says, I don't have homework, we did nothing today in class, I don't know what we're doing. It allows parents to kind of say, well, I saw that you did this. I mean, I do it to my son now. They're talking about bias in media and in works. And I asked him the other day, what are you doing in social studies? And he says, I don't know. And I was like, well, it says here on the website that you're talking about bias. And he's like, oh yeah, we did. So it does help your parents. So there are a lot of pros to having a website. There's a lot of different mediums that you can use. There's Google, there's Weebly, there's Wix. I used Weebly. It's just what I'm comfortable with. If you ever did National History Day, they got rid of Weebly now. They use their own thing. But when I was doing social studies, I just got comfortable with it because that's what they were doing. I will tell you this. I think it's very easy to use. I'll show it to you here in a second. It does take about 10 minutes to get used to. So please, I'm going to act like I'm throwing my computer. If you decide to use Weebly, don't pick up your computer and throw it. It just takes a few minutes to get used to how it actually operates. Wix is very similar. A lot of people like to use the Google and the WordPress. Please go at it. And if you know another website software that you want to try, that's fine. Just give me the heads up and say, I'm going to try to use this. I really just want you to create a website, and then there's going to be 3 things I want to see on the website. I kind of mentioned this, but Weebly and Wix are both plug and play. And what I mean is you're going to take something, you can literally drag it and drop it, and it'll start to build it. Simple as that. You also, with Weebly, I'm not too familiar with the other ones, but Weebly Education, I should clarify that. There's Weebly and there's Weebly Education. Weebly Education actually gives you some free sites for your students, and that's what I was talking about. I had students, especially 6th graders, where they were building things on World War I personalities or World War I topics. I always remember that one because I had a lot of parents who really loved that their kids were building websites. So that was about 7 years ago, though, so it was like cutting edge. That was my website, and actually I have to say that I just keep it going. And there it is. There's nothing fancy. There's not a lot of frills on this. As you can see, I taught different grades at different times, and I just loaded up everything that I did, boom, and just organized it. And it was the important things that I saw was on there. And, social studies fair and all this type of stuff. Nothing more, nothing less. I think I just wanted to get the information out. It was there. I should add this. For this class, I will not ask you, and I'm not requiring you to buy anything on any of these sites. Like Weebly Education is free to sign up for, and you get the base level stuff to build it. Anything I ask you to do on assignment, you can do on the base level part of it. You do not have to buy anything on Weebly. And I will tell you, every semester, they will do a little pay thing that'll come up on Weebly sometimes when you do it. Everyone's like, I don't want to pay for this. I want a free one. You said it was free. Trust me, it's free. It's just one of those things where it's going to ask you if you want to upgrade. You're just going to need to look at the very bottom, and it'll say something like skip or I don't want to upgrade at this time. And it'll just take you to the free thing. That's you'll be good. If you're really worried about it, though, contact me and we'll kind of help get it together. But that's the website. Let me jump back here. Yep. Oh, that's the website itself. Where am I? Did I lose my thing? Oh, there it is. I'm going to show you this. I actually took screenshots of this, and then I'll kind of log in real quick. But if you look there, you're going to have some things. You can, once you sign in and create your Weebly account, you're going to have pages and you can add things. Like, for example, there's the title. You would literally take that and you'll drag it over and you'll just build it. And you can add a page and then you can build that page. And then you'll publish it. And what you're going to do is you're going to send me the link. Again, I mentioned it. It's a great location for pulling up handouts and class PowerPoints. That's what I mostly used it for. Just because it was just if someone was out, and it just, and like I say, I liked it because when I could pull up my website, I could simply say, okay, we're doing this today, so I could just pull it up. I did usually put them up as PDFs because that just seemed easier because people would have problems opening things, and PDFs seem to solve a lot of that. As you can see, there's the My Students. That's where you can get student websites and such. But that's mine. I'm going to log in and show you. Oh, I have a student sample. I forgot I put it on here. This was one on the Red Baron that one of my students did, World War I. I mentioned it. She had Snoopy, and that was actually a GIF or GIF, whatever you prefer. And, you know, you can do this, but here's what you need to do for the assignment. And it is posted up under the assignment too on the Brightspace page. You need to create either a Wix, Google, or Weebly education site. You need to put a title page on it with your name and class. I just did social studies. If you're elementary, you can just say Miss Simpson's class, or, you know, Miss Optimus Prime's class, or whatever you want to do, or Mr. Starscream's class. Sorry, I saw Transformers on this morning. You need a header, you know, and what you're going to have on there. There is a tutorial, and I'm going to go and log in and show you in a minute. Don't worry about electronic planning this week. That's something I'm going to get into a little later. I decided to move that. Now, let me go back. Make sure we're on the same page. Whoop, I think I hit it too far. Yes, I did. It's all right. Let me go back to this. I'll put my website up if you want to use it as a check it out. But, and hopefully I'm not fading away. I meant to tell you all, I was out running around and it's a Saturday, so I just decided to do this in my hat and the t-shirt. Hopefully that does not offend you too much. All right, once you create your Google account, your Weebly account, and I'm just going to show you Weebly. You are welcome to use Google. A lot of people like using the Google one because they already have a Google account. You're welcome to use Wix. You're welcome to use WordPress. I don't care which one. But if you decide to use Weebly, you're going to have this. As you can see, I have different ones, and there's one I think that I have not done anything with. You're just going to create the page. Let's see if I can create a new one. Add site. It's going to let me do it. You're just going to start to build it. And I'm going to, we'll just say, oh, personal. I don't know if you heard that. That was a big thunderclap. I always like this setup, but you'll just pick that and it will slowly load. I'm trying to beat this storm, shutting my internet out. You will need to name your website. You can do whatever you want. We'll just say 380 test class. Boom. I just do this. I don't register or do anything that. I just use that. And then that's it. And now that's my home page. You can drag elements here. Like, for example, this is the title page. Boom. And then I could put title. And I will put, you know, I'm just going to put gibberish. But of course, you can name it. The text is, you can off. I usually turn it off. Or you can put something up there again. Let's see. Text. It's off. And then you can put text back up there, like whatever. So, whoops. So, whoops. Hold on. I'm sorry. Let's see if we can do a logo. Nah, I don't want a logo. And it should let me fix that. There it went. I was going to say you should be able to click it. I was getting a little frustrated there. But we'll just say 380. And then that's kind of it. Now, it'll already have some of these pages, and you can delete them if you want. If you just want to use it, that's fine. But that's your second. This will be your second page. So, for example, if I put Oh, I might clean some of this out real quick. Edit background. We'll put color, change color to that. And I'll put text and say, hello. You might have to do color. Sometimes this is where it gets a little weird. Sometimes you might have to change the color on the background with movies, but hello, if you can see it there. Hello, how are you doing? And again, I mentioned it's intuitive. You do sometimes have to fiddle around with it a little bit. And that's where I think people get mad. They say not mad at me, but I wouldn't blame them if they are. You can put buttons, you can put links. I have a little bit of an updated one. I don't know if the free one lets you do it. You can embed YouTube videos. You can embed files. Let's see if I can do a YouTube video real quick. I might actually still have one there. Yeah, I do. So there's a video that you can put in there. And then of course you would just drag, you can drag files and then do a file attachment. I think you kind of get it. One thing with this class, I prefer that you all kind of mess around with these things and figure it out. You might not be able to do, you might have to take a half an hour of your life to kind of fiddle with it a little bit, but I don't think it'll take you long. And the assignment is not too complicated. Once you kind of get everything loaded up the way you want it, you just hit publish. And you're going to get a website. And you're going to get this. And there's kind of what we did. And you can see if I hit red. By the way, I should jump back there. I was a little quick on something. When you go back, you have different pages. You can rename your pages. So if I rename this like 500, since we have a student center in 500, you can see, and it should already change. See, it's already changed the page name. Watch the instructional videos, and if you don't like the one I did, there are hundreds of them on Weebly. There are hundreds of them on Wix. If you go back, I do have all of them posted. Again, WordPress, Google. I've noticed more and more people are starting to use the Google. I will be the first to admit, I've always stuck with Weebly and Wix. I don't care. But here's what you need to do. This week, you need to sign up for either Wix, Google, or Weebly, or WordPress. You need to create a small website. I don't want you, if you want to go full on bonkers or anything like that, that is fine. Don't let me stop you. But all you really need to do is create a title page with your name, kind of like what mine is with France behind it, as you can see. Whoops, of course you can't see it because I don't have it on there. Let's pull it up there. And as you can see, just something like that. Next thing you need to do, create a subpage like I was kind of showing you on there. You're just going to do a subject. I don't care. If you're elementary, you can pick, you can just do an area. That's fine. You can do math, art, music, whatever works for you. Just create a subpage. And all I want you to do on that subpage is put either a link, a video, or a handout on there. I don't care what it is. If you want to do your homepage, a subpage, and put a YouTube video up on there, that's fine. If you want to do your homepage, your subpage, and a file, that is fine. As long as the video, file, handout, whatever is related to the subject you're teaching and the title of that subpage, you're good. And then you just submit the link. That's it. I know it says Sakai there, but obviously Brightspace. This was the one I used last thing. So what do you need to do? Title page, subpage, something on the subpage. That's the assignment for the tech. If you are having problems, or if I know a lot of you are, work together on stuff and have classes together. If a few of you are having problems, just contact me. The collaborative room is actually really nice on campus now, where I believe, hopefully Monday, I will have the Apple TV set up. So I can even just show you on there if you want to do a quick crash course. I'll see if I can even set up something if anyone's interested, maybe an hour of tech time a week or something like that. But that's, if there's interest. With all that being said, that is it. I know that was kind of a quick run through, but I'm trying to make sure these are not me babbling too long. The main thing is you just need to create the website. Tell me whether you like it or not, and it will not offend me if you don't, so don't worry about that. And do the discussion. The discussion, I said I was almost done, and I'm catching myself right now. The discussion is actually on 21st century skills. Nothing complicated there. There are articles, but in the article on the discussion board has, I'm sorry, the discussion board has an article that outlines what 21st century skills are, but there's also a link here on Brightspace, and I went ahead and clicked it just to kind of give you an idea of what they are. 21st century skills are things like this: critical thinking, collaboration, communication, creativity, media. You get the point. Things that students should be able to do in a 21st century world. Those are 21st century skills. Think about how you can apply those to the classroom and get students to develop those. The discussion board topic should be open to go. Yeah, you'll find 2 articles, and that's actually 2 of the ones that I have on there. Both you and the students should display these skills. I'm a big proponent of, modeling for your students. Everyone should be. I think teacher should be. But what skills do you feel are the most important out of those? Again, they're all important, but it's just to kind of get the conversation rolling. And as you look, there's a couple in there. They'll talk about the 4 C's of student 21st century learning, which I should just show you real quick. 4 C's, it's in the article. 4 C's of 21st century learning. And if you look on here, they are pretty straightforward: communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and creativity. So those are your 4. They're highlighted in the articles, but just in case you were wondering. And I want you to say which ones you think are most important and which ones you think students struggle with the most. And again, there's no right or wrong answer, so you can just kind of roll with it. With that being said, I know that was a mouthful. I try to make sure that I say 20 minutes, and I'm sure I'm way over that already. But if you have any questions, please, that is the most important thing. I know we're an online class, we're asynchronous. Please contact me anytime. Just because we don't have a formal meeting time doesn't mean I can't be available for you all. I obviously should be. So with all that being said, I'm looking out my window. It looks like the end of day. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. And I hope everyone's had a great first week. And again, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Sorry, I didn't end that just yet. Now I'll say, talk to you later. Bye.